Shalom, shalom. Before I begin this lesson and this video, I want to give all the glory and praise to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahushai, Bahashem, Akwadash. Double honor to the elders and apostles of Great Millstone. Shalom to Yakim in the faith, doing the work in truth and sincerity. Lord, when this lesson is edifying and straight to the point as I intended to be. First of all, I got this lesson, the inspiration to this lesson from the Lord. Secondly, just thinking about war, thinking about all the geopolitical movements that's being done. And there was a quote that was being said a couple months ago. I don't really remember who said it, but it stuck with me. It said, within the last few months, the geopolitical movements that have been made is equal to, on average, what nations do within 10 years, So a lot of movements have been set, and a lot of things to the naked eye look slow or it looks like it's not happening, but a lot is being done, Every move and every move in the battle counts, because one move and one day is the difference between, peace and major catastrophe. Like the small hats in the land of Israel, they keep going back on October 7th, as their scapegoat, as their reason to persecute those Palestinians. Well, they never knew that October 7th was going to be a day of calamity, which they claim, to be, done by Hamas, that and the third. But this is not what this lesson is about. I'm not defending neither of the two. The point is October 6th, October 5th, the days before that, no one knew things like that were coming. That's why they were living so deliciously, living in Mary, just partying and drinking like, they were always going to be fine. Well, hey, the Lord had to show, that, when they saw, that there's more to come, man. That you guys are not the people that peace shall not come to you guys. When they say peace, destruction and, calamity shall come unto them. But yeah, geopolitics goes into pretty much, geo meaning the earth, the earth, and politics, as we know, pretty much the political aspects of these different nations and these different countries, pretty much doing business, and we know that war, it brings money, so that's what the business of everyone is. They want to be the leading nation and ruling in power, so they can make the most amount of money and have the most amount of slaves and, pretty much live deliciously. The book of Revelation, chapter 11, verse 14, it says, the second woe meaning destruction, is past, and behold, the third woe cometh quickly. So, let's go on Google and see when was World War III, or Salakia, when was World War II deemed over? When did World War II World War II ended in the year of 1945. Let's see when it began. And that's not long ago, man. 1945 is about 60, 70 years ago. Let me get the exact number. $1945 was I ain't got my phone, so I can't even do the math. But that was about 78 years ago, So, a lot of us have grandparents that age, or maybe a little bit younger than that, So that's not even a whole, 3-generation type line. That's just one person, man. That's one lifespan, So it definitely came quick, man, and it's here. It's not on our land in Babylon the Great yet, which is where the focus is, but it's coming here. And once it gets here, it's a wrap for the rest of the world, because this is how it's all going to end, And the reason they're moving so slow is because everything has to be done really on the Lord's timing. And when you're in war, it's not about moving quickly. It's about moving far, So, as one line moves, as one end of the line moves, the other end has to move as well, so they could be a joint force. They can't just be discombobulated, because that's how you lose a war. It's like a front line. All the men march together. No man is left behind type deal. And you really don't march until you seize these different land masses and spaces which you occupy. I want to go to the book of Jeremiah chapter 50. But yeah, these are the times that we're in where North Korea and Russia, they're linking up. They're speaking about what they're going to get done, They're trying to get their team together. They already got China, you know. But this is what's prophesied in the Bible, you know, that Magog, you know, Magawag, you know, Ra'ashar, the Russians, all the same people. If you look at the ancient map of, and you know, that's spiritual, that bottle right there says pure life. You know, I did that on purpose. I put it there. I was drinking some water, and I just thought to myself, you know, out of his belly shall flow fountains of living water, man. And that's what's coming out, you know, out of my mouth through the Most High, you know, via the Most High, you know, through me. You know, the Lord's using me as a vessel to bring out this truth, because this is the truth. That World War III is coming. The Mark of the Beast is coming. Famine is coming. Jacob's trouble is coming. We're focused on the top 3 prophecies right now. Jacob's trouble, MOTB, and World War III, and the deliverance, the destruction of deliverance, which is synonymous, you know, because as this place is being destroyed, you know, the elect is going to be scarcely saved, you know, as it speaks about, you know, they're going to go up into the chambers, into the fathership of Yahweh Shai, who the world's only calls Jesus Christ. He's coming on, like the scriptures say, you know, a white horse, and, you know, it's speaking about pretty much a chariot, man, you know. Jeremiah chapter 50, and he says he's going to crack the clouds that every eye shall see. That means it's going to be supersonic blasts he's coming through with, because these chariots, they don't move like another vessel or another vehicle. And for every eye which pierce him shall see from one end of earth to another, it has to be massive. It has to be coming through aerial attack. And it's going to be fucking up a lot of people that's not on this side, man. Everyone that's not on this side, either with the Lord or against the Lord. There's no in between. That's why he says he shall spew out of his mouth if you're not on fire. And if you're a heathen, don't even worry about, you know, being on fire, because, you know, this thing was never meant for you. You were just meant to pretty much serve, you know, and be a part of prophecy and be a part of, you know, life. You know, everyone has a role. And the Israelites, yeah, we don't have the best role at the moment, but at the end of the day, we still the Lord's people, man. We got the best, you know, the Israelites that are in the truth, you know, the elect, the hopeful elect. We actually have the best role right now, even though we might not be living the lives that we want to live, like eating good foods, healthy foods, having healthy relationships with our people, living, you know, having the finer things or whatnot, you know. But right now we single-eyed, you know, which is keeping us focused, you know, keeping us on fire, keeping us single-eyed on what's important, because this is what's important right now. You know, as the world is falling apart, people's minds are falling apart, you know, their morals are falling apart. So the Lord is keeping us intact with what we need. I want to go to Jeremiah chapter 50 and get a few verses, Lord willing. The book of Jeremiah chapter 50, verse 1. The word of the Lord Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai spoke against Babylon, meaning Babal, confusion, which is America, and against the land, America meaning bitter, you know, and against the land of the Chaldeans, you know, being those Germans, you know, these wise guys, these men of Teman, you know, which that's why Germany is so known for its production of, you know, factory lining. That's where China got their ideas from, for Germany. That's what boomed China's economy so damn well. By Jeremiah the prophet, declare ye among the nation, and publish and set up a standard, publish and conceal not, saying Babal is taken, Bel is confounded, Merodach is broken in pieces, her idols are confounded, her images are broken in pieces. Jesus Christ to naught. You know, all these false idols which these people, you know, want to believe in and put a high regard in, these things are coming to naught. Look what's happening with the Muslims overseas. At the Hajj, like 1,000 people, over 1,000 people died because of heat. You think the Lord is dealing with them, man? You know, while these people are getting weaker, the elect is getting stronger, man. The Lord is showing who he's dealing with. And no, he's not dealing with the whole nation of Israel. Yeah, you got Jakes who are wicked, who look like they're doing well. But at the end of the day, you know, the proof is going to be in the pudding, man. You're going to see who rises to the top, which is going to be cream, man. You know? And it's going to be the elect, ultimately. For out of the north there shall come up a nation against her, which shall make her land desolate, and shall dwell therein. They shall remove, they shall depart, both man and beast. Hey, man, that's what's going to happen here. The same way which Noah's flood pretty much removed a lot of people, man, removed a lot of landmass, destroyed a lot of places which the flood ran through, you know. Everywhere it ran through, you know. That's what these missiles are going to do. The Lord's pretty much going to flood this place with missiles. He's not going to flood it with water no more. That's why he had that covenant, the rainbow, you know, to show us as a sign that won't happen again. Hey, but guess what? He didn't say that this place will not be destroyed again, because this place ultimately has gotten wicked again. You know, It says these things are supposed to be an example unto us, on how to live, how to reading these stories, seeing what happened back then. Hey, if people are doing what happened back then, which is wickedness, like how they're doing in Sodom and Gomorrah and its neighboring 3 other cities, of course the same way it's gonna go out, man. Sodom and Gomorrah was taken out by fire and brimstone. To this day, you can find sulfuric acid there. So guess what? Once this place is destroyed, we're gonna be able to come back here and find. Well, ain't no reason to come back here. No one's gonna want to come back here. It says we shall hiss at it, but it's gonna be deposits of nuclear debris. This place is gonna be through. This place is gonna be just a waste of space, man. It's gonna be actually the biggest desert on the earth, and it's gonna be one of the biggest, say, graveyards. In those days, in that time, the Lord Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushua of Yasharallah shall come, and they and the children of Israel and Judah together going and weeping, they shall go and seek the Lord their power. These times right now, man, we weeping and we signing and crying because we know the time's about to get bad. They shall ask the way to Zion with their faces thither, saying, come and let us join ourselves with the Lord perpetual covenant, and then shall not be forgotten. We'll go to the book of let's go to the book of Ezekiel, chapter 37, 38, Salakia. And let me let the ice cream truck go by. And the word of the Lord Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushua came unto me, saying, Son of man, set thy face against Gog in the land of Magog, the chief prince of Meshech. Meshech in the Hebrew goes back to the word Maskal, or Salakia. Maskal goes back to the Hebrew word Meshech. I wish I had my Blue Letter Bible app on this iPad. Oh, I actually do. So let me go into that word Meshech real quick. They're intertwined. Going to show you that the Bible is real, man. And if you go into the, like I was saying before, I was speaking about the bottle sign of pure life. If you go into ancient land mass of Gog and Magog, you're gonna see that it's synonymous, or pretty much, it's the same thing as where Russia is today. Also known as the Medes. And Russia has the highest amount of arrows. And who had the highest amount of arrows back then? The Medes. I'm trying to get this pulled up. Bear with me. Where was I? I was in Ezekiel 38, verse 3. It's my first time on a tablet with this, so bear with me. It's moving real slow. Moscow is Russia's capital, as you guys all should know. And a missile from the capital of Russia to pretty much New York, which is a big capital, or you could say damn near capital after DC. I would say New York is the capital of America, but that takes about 20-25 minutes, man. You got a 15,000 mile per hour, it could be in kilometers, but missile flying. That's why it's called intercontinental, because it's effectively going from one continent to another. It's not taking all day, or else it'd be worthless. You'd be better off bringing a warship or bringing in sleeper cells and doing sabotage that way. But that's going to show you that this is prophecy. This is the Lord speaking, because we're speaking about things which we don't have resources to, man. We don't have the not saying brothers ain't capable, but that's not our forte. That's not our strong points. Ain't no brother a chemist or a scientist putting atoms and splitting atoms together. The Lord ain't give us that power, man. That's Esau Edom, his blessing. He's giving that to you guys to pretty much bring in your own demise. Going to show you that the Lord is the author of all souls. Man's going is of the Lord. The Lord is working on the minds of every man. you know? Because if you guys were in your right mind, y'all would do everything in your power to stop this. But y'all have to keep going forth because, hey, the Lord is in ultimate control. The king's heart is in the hand of the Lord. He goes to wherever the Lord driveth him, you know, roughly paraphrasing. So Meshach in the Hebrew, meaning drawing out. The descendants of Meshach often mentioned in connection with Tubal, Magog, the northern nations, including Moski, Armenia. The Apostle Tahar put me on that. But I don't want to waste too much time on that as I'm trying to pull that up and prove it, but bear with me. I'll let you guys do that on your own, but because my iPad's going real slow, my tablet. But I'm gonna continue on Ezekiel chapter 38. You know, speaking about a prophecy which is coming to pass, which is not yet passed. You know, a lot of fools tell you, "Oh, this already happened," or "This is another nation." No, this is the land of Russia, or the people of Russia. Ra'ashar being the head chief, the chief prince. You know, pretty much coming against this place. That's what Russia is in the Hebrew. The Lord Yahweh Bashim Yahshua said, "Behold, I am against thee, O God, chief prince of Meshach and Tubal, and I will turn thee back and put hooks in thy jaws." Going to show you the Lord's controlling these dudes, man. "And I will bring thee forth and all thine army and horsemen and horses, all that clothe with all sorts of armor, even a great company with bucklers and shields, all of them handling swords." Hey, all of them dudes got weapons, man. Weapons ain't no issue. And they all marching forth, man. You know, Putin got these dudes, and these generals are commanding them to do, you know, whatsoever. You know, they tell them, and they following orders, man. And they're going to the battle. They have a general named General Armageddon. So, and then these dudes, they're showing the Russian icons, showing us the world that we're the true Israelites, we're the true people of the Lord. You know, exposing the small hatters. Hey, man, this is ultimately of the Lord doing these things, man. That's why there's so many chariot sightings out east, is because the Lord and the angels, like it says in Revelation chapter 7. You know, pretty much working on their minds, you know, holding back the winds of destruction. Because if it was up to these crazy freaks, you know, these Kim Jong-uns and all these, you know, fast, irrational thinkers, they would have been blew shit up, you know, but it's all for an appointed time. The elect, you know, we believe they're sealed, but, you know, we got to get the rest, you know, in that 11th hour or whatnot, and we got to wait for the MOTV to go by because we believe that prophecy is going to come to pass. We know it's going to come to pass. You know, we know, you know, the world's not going to end until that prophecy goes by. You know, because that's going to separate the men from the boys, the real from the fakes. Ain't going to be no men with an MOTB or a woman or a child on a chariot. Absolutely not. And all of them that take the MOTB, they got to be pretty much put to death. They need a new body because Satan has compromised them, man. Persia, Ethiopia, and Libya, with them, all of them with shield and helmet. Hey, that's who's linking up with Ra'ashar, these Russians, man, these North Koreans. That's who's making coalition. Ethiopia and Libya are what? Hamite nations. Who's controlling? Who just kicked France out of the land of Africa within the last year? Sent all their troops home. And who's now in the land of Africa with those people and training those soldiers and winning the hearts of those people? Moab and Russians. Yes. You have Moab people over there setting up businesses, setting up shops, pretty much getting their economy going. You have the Russian troops and the Russian soldiers in that land as well, patrolling and pretty much, you know, doing what they do. Persia. That's the modern day Iranians. Whose side are they on? You think they're on the side of the Edomites? You think Esau wants to deal with Iran? You think the small hatters are dealing with Iran? No, the Russians are. That's what geopolitics is. It's pretty much teams coming together and going to battle against one another. But this is all going to play on their heads because at the end of the day, they're gonna realize they have a bigger enemy, like it speaks about in the book of Joel. You know, they're all gonna pretty much be decimated in the Levant. You know, in the battle of Armageddon. You know, mountain of troops, Armageddon in the Hebrew. Gomer, the Turkish people, all in his bands in the house of Togomar, the northern quarters, and all of his bands, many of the people with thee. Be thou prepared and prepare thyself, thou, all thy company that are assembled unto thee, and be thou a guard unto them. So Russia's gonna be, you know. So until the battle of Armageddon, man, Russia's gonna be trampling shit. Russia's gonna be feared, and Russia's already feared. Them Russians, bro, they are just fighting machines, man. The Lord has a different spirit going in that land compared to this land. You know, out here, everyone's docile, everyone's poisoned, everyone's all about food and addicted to drugs and food, man. You know, that's why we got to go on fast and pretty much keep a healthy lifestyle, because it's easy to get rocked to sleep in this stuff. That's why it says I'll destroy you with a sore pollution. Everything in this land is weaponized. There's nothing that's here that is to your aid or for your aid, you know. But I want to grab one more scripture, because I don't like to make long lessons, because Jacob's attention span is short, and you know, so forth and so on. What do I want? Bear with me. Yeah, man. So these allies are just gonna get stronger and stronger and stronger. 2nd Ezra chapter 15, starting at verse 28. Behold, a horrible vision and the appearances thereof. From the east, Ezra had this vision, where the nation of the dragons of Arabia shall come out with many chariots. The multitude of them shall be carried as the wind upon the earth, and they all which hear of them may fear and tremble. So when these Babylonians hear of or see, you know, what the hell's going on, you know, they see how they're teaming up, you know, because right now they're not all teamed up. Right now you have them all, you know, because of the BRICS nation and because of you know, political affairs and whatnot. You know, they seem to not be joined on together. But the Lord's gonna have a spirit where all these damn Muslims, and that's another thing about it. A lot of them, even though they practice Orthodox Christianity, you know, they get hand in hand with each other. The Muslims and them Russians, for whatever reason, they don't mind each other. You know, like the small hatters, how they mind everyone else. Them two, they don't mind each other. Same thing with the Asians. You know, they all believe in different pagan gods. The Lord got it a certain way that they don't mind each other. So, you know, push come to shove, all these nations are going to come together, and they're going to be strong as ever, you know, ready to just tear shit up. And this is going to be, you know, pretty much the climax, one of the climaxes of World War III. And if you want to know who the Dragons of Arabia is going to be consist of, search up Arab nations. You'll see everyone that's in that region. Also the Carmanians, which is the Iranians, raging in wrath shall go forth as wild boars of the wood. You ever heard of a wild boar in the woods? People go out there to kill them. People go hunt them shits. Why? Because they're evasive. So that's how they're going to be. They're going to be evading different nations and taking over and ruining places, you know? Where the fuck she going? With great power shall they come and join the battle with them, and shall waste a portion of the land of the Assyrians. You know, these modern day Edomites. You know, it's another word for these people. And then shall the dragons have the upper hand, remembering their nature, and they shall turn themselves conspiring together in great power to persecute them. Then they shall be troubled, bled, kept silence through their power, and shall flee. And from the land of the Assyrians shall the enemy besiege them, and consume some of them, and their host shall be feared and dread and strife among their kings. And it says, remembering their nature, you know, because that's Ishmael. And them Arab nations, a lot of them are Ishmaelites. It says in the scriptures, speaking about his nature, oh my gosh, I hate the Bible app, because I don't hate it, but it be tripping sometimes. Like when you search up a word, and like, you know it's there, but they don't want to give it. So now I gotta go on Google. That's why it's good to sometimes, not sometimes, but all the time, to remember the scriptures, you know, by the numbers. But not everyone has that superpower. Ishmael, wow. Bear with me, Shah. Genesis chapter 16. I can't find the scripture I want. Bear with me, Shah. I think it's 16 and 12, Lord willing. Yep, 16 and 11, starting at verse 11, going to verse 12. Genesis chapter 16, verse 11. This going to the nature of these Arabic nations and these people and their men. And the angel of the Lord Yahweh Bashim outside said unto her, Behold, thou art with a child, and shall bear a son, and shall call his name Ishmael, because the Lord Yahweh Bashim have heard thy affliction, and he will be a wild man. His hand will be against every man, and every man's hands against him. He shall dwell in the presence of all of his brethren. And she called the name of the Lord Yahweh Bashim that spake unto her, Thou God seest me. For she said, I also look after him that seeth me. Wherewith? Well, that's not the point. But the point being, Ishmael is a wild man. That's a prophecy. And we about to see how wild he can get. The Yemenis, they got shit going on. They're the poorest country in the East. They're like a Haiti compared to this side of the hemisphere. But yet, they're out there in the Bab Admam, fuck. Long story short, it's just straight. It's kind of hard to pronounce if you're not Arabic, I guess. Bab Admaldeb Strait. And any cargo container that thinks they could just ride through there without repercussions, if you're not an ally of them, you're getting hit. And they don't care what airstrike is coming after that. They with it, man. You gotta understand, that's some same people who believe if they die for their nation, if they die for their people, they get like 72 virgin women in heaven. So these people, they on another one, man. They war ready as well. So these are the times we in, man, where we got to get closer to our Lord. We got to get our houses in order, speaking to myself first and foremost, and prepare for what's to come, which is, a trying for all of them that dwell upon the earth, man. And I don't know if you guys is able to see the aid delivery package to Gaza, the people of Palestine. But if you guys see how desperate they are for food and water and victuals, then you'd know that definitely they would take the MOTB for unless they're the elect, for a better lifestyle, pretty much, because they desperate, man. They're out there running as mad men. Like I said, they shall not be sparing none because, of the lack of bread. Every man shall be against his neighbor. Cannibalism is coming back. So, Lord willing, this is edifying, and it reached to those who the Lord intended it to reach, and giving all the glory and praise to the Lord and His only begotten Son, and the Paleo Son, who the Lord calls God and Jesus. Barakatah Yahweh, Bahashem Yahushai, Bahashem Akwadah, meaning the Holy Spirit. Double honor to the others in the positive green millstone. Shalom to the elect. Shalom.